Jesus Christ! Are you okay? I'm sorry, I didn't even see that stop sign. It popped out of nowhere. My name's Chip Chipley, and what you just saw was a reenactment of actual events, as our helpless victim was ruthlessly assaulted by that ill-groomed and particularly unattractive assailant. Today I shall be your guide as we watch this nefarious foe test his mettle against the United States justice system. There will be many mazes, many pitfalls, many stops along the way as we traverse the evidentiary process. But I am confident that you and I will make it through. So come, join me today as we enter the wondrous world of evidence. Let's take a look. In our present reenactment, we have our degenerate of the week on trial for purse snatching. And I must say, you can see the guilt dripping down his greasy face even as we speak. But that's what the rules of evidence are here for, folks. To make sure that even vagabonds like him get a fair trial.
So what exactly were you doing that morning you allege you saw my client?
I was just in the park.
You weren't doing anything else?
No.
You were drinking.
I might have had one to relax.
Isn't it true that you're an alcoholic?
Objection, relevance, and improper character. Defense knows that being drunk at the time of witnessing an event does not prevent a witness from testifying.
Your Honor, this is not being used as character. Whether or not the individual was inebriated at the time he witnessed the event is also properly the subject of cross-examination to establish the veracity of the testimony. You're not saying the witness is precluded from testifying, but even if this goes to capacity, under Rule 403, this is more prejudicial than probative.
Overruled.
Yes, I suppose you could call me an alcoholic.
What were you drinking on the day of the incident?
Yes.
And in fact, had you consumed so much alcohol that you were drunk?
It was only 10 a.m.
Your Honor, I'd like to approach the witness with a document marked P17 for identification. It is the police report taken from the witness by Officer Kruckner on the night of the incident. I'd like to draw your attention to paragraph 14. Please read along with me to make sure that I read this correctly.
Well, our defense attorney is trying to slyly impeach the witness with the police officer's statement that the witness was hammered drunk when taking the statement. But if the prosecution is on her game, and I believe she will be, our defense attorney will soon learn that even a shiny metallic suit and finely tweezed eyebrows do not substitute for a legal argument. Not in this courtroom.
Objection, improper impeachment and hearsay. It was not a statement under oath or in connection with the former proceeding. It was also not a statement made by the witness. It's also improper extrinsic evidence and collateral, not to mention highly prejudicial.
Strong work, Toots. It seems that brains have again triumphed over brawn, and beauty has slain the beast.
Your Honor, we are offering for impeachment, not for truth, so hearsay is irrelevant. Under Rule 607, we have the right to use extrinsic evidence to impeach a witness as to something so critical as their ability to perceive or recall an event.
Your Honor, the report is really not being used for impeachment. It is being used for truth, and it is hearsay. It cannot come in under a police or public record because we have no one yet to establish the foundation for the document.
Your Honor, please. This is simple impeachment.
Substitute Angel. Rule 613 requires the witness to be impeached on the basis of their own statements, not the statements of another person. Look at him! He looks drunk right now! But remember, defects of capacity are subject to your discretion to allow extrinsic evidence.
Objection sustained. Call the officer if you wish to question the witness's ability to perceive or recall. Let's not do it through a police report.
The rules of evidence in action. Simply riveting. I don't know about you. I can hardly wait to see what happens next.
So how do you know the defendant?
He was an actor in my last film, Regina versus Dudley and Stevens.
Can you tell the court what happened on the last day of filming?
Well, we were shooting scene 24 and we were on the 15th take and it just wasn't coming together. Regina versus Dudley and Stevens, the movie, scene 24, take 15, action.
We've been paddling for 3 weeks. We're not going anywhere. You're taking us in the wrong direction.
Because you guys are doing it all wrong.
He's not paddling.
I am paddling. I've been paddling this whole damn time.
If either of us were watching you, we'd see nibbling on that more than you actually know to paddle.
Made out of, that's ridiculous. You're ridiculous.
Watching you paddle. It doesn't matter. You're hungry.
What am I, a chipmunk? What am I, a chipmunk?
Watching you paddle and just
You don't know anything about
I
paddling.
know everything about paddling. I've been doing this since the Cub Scouts. I won awards.
You were 10 years old.
It doesn't
You were
matter.
10 years old.
Those skills stick with you for
You
life.
don't even know who your troop leader was. You can't even name
Right
it.
now, but
Yeah,
maybe you
that's
could.
right. That goes to show how much you know about Cub Scouts and paddling.
You know what? You
Who
do a
wouldn't
lot
do
of
that?
reaching for a small, skinny guy.
You know what else? I'm getting pretty hungry.
Jerusalem! That was my best scene! She's throwing water on me. The scene is over.
And then he said, I swear I'm going to get you back. I'm going to steal something from you two.
Objection. Hearsay.
Your Honor, admission of party opponent. This testimony also goes to the defendant's motive.
Ah, good old hearsay objection. Let's see what we have here. Number 1, we know it was an out-of-court statement. Number 2, we know it was offered for the truth of the matter asserted. And number 3, we know that it falls under one of the 801D exceptions, namely admission by a party opponent. Now you and I both know that means not hearsay.
You said during earlier testimony that you saw the defendant running with a purse?
Yes.
And what exactly were you doing when you allege you saw him?
I was working.
And, miss, what is it that you do?
I look good.
Perhaps. But isn't it true that you were actually soliciting men? And that you were convicted of prostitution 3 years ago?
Objection, character. The witness did not serve a time period that exceeded 1 year, therefore it is inadmissible under Rule 609.
Your Honor, the witness could have served 18 months in prison. It is not how long you did serve, it's how long you could have served. This is proper, and it is admissible.
Overruled.
Isn't it true that you were convicted of perjury?
Objection, Your Honor. That was more than 10 years ago when the witness was 18 years old, and the perjury that is being referred to is in connection with the conviction of the witness's father for embezzlement, which was a very isolated situation.
Dishonesty is a material element to the conviction of a crime of perjury, and the conviction of this witness is relevant to her truthfulness.
Overruled. Too prejudicial and remote.